And we're live. Peace to the gods. I am Jed Nico, and you are tuned into the Blacklist Society Live podcast, Orlando's underground media, curating new music, art, community, and all things psychedelic here in Central Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my personal passion, pleasure, and privilege to put on for the city beautiful by connecting with the beautiful people in the city and bringing awareness to their artistic endeavors. Episode 2, we out here with J Wall,
What's up, man?
aka J Wall, up in the building, man.
What's good, bro?
Thank you so much
What's
for
good?
being here.
Brother?
I met you 2 years ago. We
Yep.
were working in a call center.
Yep.
You're assistant supervisor,
Yep.
and somewhere along the line, we got to chopping it up. You said you did music. You brought me out to your car, I remembered, and you played Gates of Babylon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just littered with running through the O, like, whoa. So I freaked the fuck out because I'm in love with all things Orlando. So automatically I fucked with you. But what left an impact, it was one time we were out to dinner. What was that Indian place you put me onto on iDrive?
Taj Mahal.
Shout outs to Taj Mahal. If anybody fucks with Indian food, please hit up Taj Mahal. Biggie put me on to butter chicken.
Yeah.
J Wall knows whose food, but
Yeah.
I bring that up because what really impacted me is when we sat down, you prayed for the meal.
Oh yeah.
And I never forget that because I'm a man of prayer. Like, I want to start there. Is that something that you grew up with, like, from your family, or is that something you developed later on in life, just becoming a man of prayer?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Had Christian since I was a kid. Since I could walk and talk, I didn't really have no choice. I mean, not that it's a bad thing, but yeah. I've been a Christian since I could remember, bro. Prayer definitely changes things. So it's something I stick with and I'll do to the day I die, I guess, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
But, like, for me, I think one of the most important interactions you can have with somebody is over a meal. And the fact that you took the time to pray over the meal, it meant so much to me. I think this is my first time actually saying that to you because I remember when I was running around in the streets in Orlando and I did a life change. I did 3 years in a ministry school. And this ministry school was on OBT and they were called a house of prayer. So, house of prayers around America, for those of you who don't know, they literally do like 24/7 praise and worship. It's set up after the Temple of David. Praises would always be on the altar, and so my man, I'm talking about, we would go 4 to 8 hours sometimes, just trying to connect with God and pray in a place of music and spontaneous worship. So for me, it's something like you said, important. I think it's very important in this time. You know, whoever people pray to, I think it's important to take the time to get quiet and to speak to that higher being that you believe in. Like for me, I find strength in that, especially in pandemic. So,
Oh
uh,
yeah.
pretty impactful time meeting you. Uh, and you definitely left the mark on that part. So even on the gates of Babylon, it sounds like a prayer because you literally say, "Father, tell me why I can't have shit, having dreams about that motherfucking Aston." Like it's like you're literally
Yeah.
having a full blown conversation on the chorus, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I fucked with it from day one. I was like, man, he's hitting chords on prayer. He's hitting Orlando. And for those who haven't heard your music, how would you describe your content, your sound? You know, for those who haven't heard J Wall before.
Real, man. It's emotion, man. Raw emotion, real uh pain, ambition. A lot of ambition, more so than anything, and that's what I pride myself on. I mean, my favorite artist is Kanye, and one of the things that he says is, if you're a fan of Kanye, you're a fan of me. I mean, well, you're a fan of yourself, excuse me. Um, and that
Say that again.
he says, if you're a fan of Kanye, you're a fan of yourself.
that's powerful.
And I want to also I want to always kind of carry that same feeling in my music. You know what I'm saying? Where a person can listen to it and just relate, can see themselves in me, see certain things I go through in themselves. It's not. The sad part about our industry, man, is you either sell dope or you came in the game super rich. You either a thug, you shooting people, killing people, selling whatever, you know what I'm saying, or you know what I'm saying, and there hasn't been very many people that are in the game that can come in, tell a story, a relatable story from someone who was in the middle, someone who dibbed and dabbed here and there, but at the end of the day, made an honest living, 9 to 5, paying for your shit the way that you can. I've tried shit, but at the end of the day, I think my story is a little bit more relatable to 90% of Americans. Like not 90% of Americans didn't wake up in the morning and have to be in the trenches knocking niggas over the head to get bread. Like it was just like a real. So I think that's what you hear in my music a lot of the times is the ambition, the growth, the wants, the needs, that type of thing.
And are you originally from the city?
Oh yeah,
from Orlando.
Born and raised here, man.
What high school did you go to?
I went to Jones.
Shout outs to Jones.
Yeah, old J High, man. I went there for a couple years. My last year, I went to Workforce Advantage Academy.
Okay.
Yeah, that was like a
for bad kids.
Yeah,
trouble.
Say that. Yeah. Trouble kids.
What was J Wall like in high school? Like if you could bring us back then, like. Because I known you for 2 years, so I more into your mature years. What were you like in high school?
Shit, I all over the place, man. I didn't know whether I wanted to be a ball player or I wanted to be a costume designer or an actor. Man, I was doing theater. I was doing.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I took theater. Bro.
Like you were literally performing like plays, like Othello type stuff.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You got any old videos out there surfing in the internet? Or?
I hope not, my brother.
I'm gonna do some research. nah, I'll fuck with you.
But yeah, nah, bro. Yeah,
Tommy, get on that for us, please.
I got you.
I did some theater back in the day, man.
That's awesome.
I set up the stage, and then another hand, I'm doing that. Another hand, I'm on anime heavy. Another hand, I'm trying to be a basketball player.
I didn't even know you were into anime. What were your top 3 animes in high school? Like for me, I was a big Dragon Ball Z head.
Okay.
I loved Gundam. When Gundam Wing came out, I bought the robots. I would take the time to assemble them in Chinese and this, that, and the third. No, I'm not Chinese. And what was the third one? Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah.
So that was the kind of anime that I was into. I'm
such a big anime fan, man. I literally would download the ending theme songs and the intros and listen to them. I don't know
For
what
real?
the fuck they're saying, but it just sounds
That's
good.
dope.
It's funny as shit.
What were your top 3?
My top 3
like your
animes.
go-tos, like if you sat down.
Oh my god.
Like the world stops for these.
I don't want in no particular order. Death Note. Oh my god. I mean, you already named Dragon Ball, of course, but I mean, shit, you got Death Note, you got Full Metal Alchemist.
That was a big one.
Oh yeah,
that was
Full
a big
Metal. Bro, there's so many. Yeah, I watched so many animes, man. It's hard. Naruto, you can say Naruto's in there.
You up to date on anything?
Cowboy Bebop, Big O.
He dropped Big O.
Yeah, bro. Gundam, my favorite, Endless Waltz, Bleach.
Oh,
bro.
J-Wall go in on the animes.
Yeah,
okay.
Man.
You know what's crazy is so the high school I went to, I did 2 years in University High School, and then I did 2 years in Colonial. University High School was predominantly African American.
Okay.
And then Colonial was predominantly Hispanic, right?
Yeah.
So here I am, I'm a freshman in high school, and I'm into anime, and bro, it was ruthless growing up in high school, man, because I was a minority first and foremost. I was probably one of less than 10 Filipino kids in the whole goddamn high school, right? So I joined the step team. I started learning how to freestyle. It was almost like social surviving.
Social shock.
Yeah, I left my love of anime to engage with the culture that was going on just to be accepted and
some pussy.
For
the pussy. Let's say what it is.
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Man. And I got it.
Me too.
I got it. Shout out to my first girlfriend. She was Dominican. But looking back on that, I regret. I personally regret leaving like anime and things that I love just to be accepted by the culture. You know what I'm saying? And so that just kind of brought me back there. But high school also brings something I wanted to bring up. My first time seeing police brutality was in high school. I was in Colonial, and my friend Frank, he was Puerto Rican. We were probably like 16, 17. And he had his cell phone, and you're not supposed to have cell phones out in the hallway. But for some reason, he got into it with a cop. A cop was asking for his cell phone, and next thing you know, Frank's not giving his phone. He's got this, big Puerto Rican attitude from New York. I'm like, well, fuck you. I'm not giving you my phone. And next thing you know, bro, the cop pulls out his taser and tases Frank.
Holy shit.
Bro, in front of me. Like, this is not a story that, like, I read. Like, I'm in the hallway. You know what I'm saying? Or actually, it happened and I ran to the hallway to see what was going on. And Frank, if you're watching this, man, I mean, this gangsta-ass motherfucker, he took his shirt and popped the tasers out of his shirt so that it wouldn't electrocute because they were the projectile ones. And then the cop reloads it, tases him again. They gang up on him and they maced him, and they maced him so heavy that the crowd was inhaling mace. And so that was the first time I saw police brutality. Like, and we're in such a crazy time where that's being talked about in our community. Like, were you exposed to police brutality growing up, like in the city or in like high school? Like, because that was my first encounter with it, was in high school. Like, what was that like from your perspective growing up in the city?
I mean, bro, I've been places where I've been riding down the street, man, down Paramo, leaving the studio, gun pulled out on me. Guy said I was speeding. He said he was speeding, but he came to the car. I never forget I was
already
driving.
Pulled out.
Oh no, on me, like aimed, like that, like it was so like no.
Usually they have it on, like, hand on.
I kid, like, bro,
That's
I'm driving,
wild, bro.
dark as shit out, and I see a cop. Cop turned. The thing about it is the cop turned on his. He's behind me. He turns on his lights, like the big lights that are on the car, like the huge ones, the bright
Spotlights.
Yeah, spotlights. And it's I'm in the middle of the road, so it's reflecting into my mirrors, and I hear him yelling out, "Pull over, pull over, pull over." And in my mind, I'm like, well, shit, do you want me to pull over to the side of the road? Because I can't see where the fuck I'm going, So I roll down the window. I'm like, hey, do you want me to pull over to the side of the road, or do you want me to pull over to... By the time I finish my sentence, he's like this at the car. I'm like, whoa, just chill. And he goes, oh, what you shaking for? I'm like, oh, you got a fucking gun. Put the gun up. Let me get your license and registration. Fuck, put the gun down. I'll give you whatever you want. Like,
You told the cop to put his gun down?
Yeah, like, bro, like, put that shit up, bro. Like, what the fuck wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Like
we could do this civilly. Like,
yeah, man. But, bro, I done seen all type of... I've seen good cops as well. But
sure, absolutely.
Majority of the time, man, like, most of the time, bro, like, I've gotten pulled over. I don't know if he was fucking with me or not. And just the dude asked me, yo, you got any explosives in the car? Any explosives? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, but you mind if I search the car? Damn. For explosives?
That's such a random question, though. Like,
yeah, bro, everything. Well, I pulled you over because you got a tail light out.
So he went from
it's like
I'm pulling you over to have because your tail out.
Fucking with me. Like now.
So do you have explosives?
Yeah, you're at the time. He's fucking with me. I'm pretty sure it's just like I'm fucking with you now. You got a tail light out.
How old were you, like, when you had your first run-in type deal?
My first run-in, probably when I was like 18, 17. Most of the time, I ain't really like coming up. I was really one of those guys who was in the house making beats, anime, Yu-Gi-Oh, that type of thing. Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh's in the anime too.
Shout out to
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, like anime, video games, you know what I'm saying? So I would go hoop every now and again, but I wasn't like out going to clubs. I wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? I was more focused on like piano, like I play instruments.
Okay.
So piano, guitar, like trying to learn how to play certain shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, okay, my time wasn't spent out on the scene to even deal with that type of shit. But then obviously, you black, dreads, it'll find you. It'll find you.
I mean, this may be like an obvious question, but did that impact the way you look at law enforcement or your relationship and how you perceive?
At first, it was At first,
Or is it kind of like this an everyday thing? Like we just chalk it up to a loss, charge it to the
yeah.
game type deal.
At first, it was kind of like because the first thing my mom says to me, like that, it's funny. That same night, after that whole ordeal, right? That the guy who pulled the gun on me or whatever, he he asked for, he ended up putting it up. I give my license registration. He goes back to the car, brings me back my does some shit in the car, then brings me back my license and registration and tells me to wait. Goes back to his car and drives off. So I'm like, okay. So then I drive home. I get pulled over again in my driveway.
What a second time?
A second time. Different police officers. I'm like, what the fuck
in
is
your
happening?
driveway?
In my parents' he said I ran a stop sign. But he wasn't gonna give me a ticket though. I'm not gonna give you a ticket, but just so you know,
So he
you
followed you all the way to the
sign.
driveway to tell you.
Pulled up. I'm like, he comes to the car, guy and a girl. She opens the car. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, what the hell? Like, bro, y'all just pulled me over, bro. I don't know what's going on. He's like, we didn't do anything. I'm like, bro, my license and ID and shit is right here in the seat already from when somebody just pulled me over saying I was speeding and he had a gun on me. This is my house, bro. I'm finna get out the car.
And this was your parents' house?
Yeah, like my pops come outside. He like, stay back. I'm yelling at him, say, go back in the house. Go back in the house. It's fine. He like, nah, like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So, that shit. But ever since then, my whole outlook, at first my outlook was, if you're not doing shit wrong, then they ain't gonna fuck with you.
Right.
But that quickly changed. Like a couple times of getting pulled over and them doing like on some dumb shit. That quickly changed. Now I just kind of avoid the cops. Like I'm not rude. I'm not whatever the case may be. But I just try to. You stay your lane, I stay my lane. You know what I'm saying? My roommate was a CO. You know what I'm saying? So she's trying to be in law enforcement. There are some people who are trying to get in and actually
do honest work.
Yeah, but a lot of the times, man, people use that. You give somebody the power of essentially life and death. That's having a bad day.
It's gonna affect some decisions.
Yeah.
I really do think it was like that. You said if you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't worry about, confrontations with police. And I do believe that stands today, but you do get those situations like you just talked about where there's some profiling in action. I remember when I got married back in the day, I bought a 370Z. We were shopping at the outlets on Oak Ridge, off of Oak Ridge, right?
Okay, yep. Prime outlets, yep.
Brand new car. I decide we had a long day of shopping, me and my wife at the time. I go to sleep in the front seat, and while she's driving, she forgets to turn the main lights on, so it's just the sub lights underneath. And I wake up, we're pulled over on Oak Ridge with lights in the back, and next thing you know, a police puts on his black gloves and reaches into the car, unlocks her door. They unlock the whole car. They yoke me out of the car and put me into a puddle. Like I'm chest down on the street in a puddle. Like there's plenty of like dry street, but they put me in a puddle and they put pink handcuffs on me. They said it was women's size handcuffs, so it was tight as fuck. And in that situation, man, it was pretty fucked up because they said they smelled weed in the car or whatnot, and there was nothing in the car. And I saw an attorney about it, and he told me like, yo, that whole situation was sketched the fuck out. I was like, yo, is there anything that we could do about this? And he said yes, but I'm gonna shoot you straight. That's gonna take like 9 years or so, and we're not even guaranteed to like win. You know what I'm saying? He's like, and this is a well-known lawyer, attorney in Orlando. He looks me dead in my eye and he says, son, you're better off taking it as a loss. He said I had 9 rights violated that day. And there's a case. He said I just got done working on a case. He's like, bro, but the fight that you have to go through to get justice for that situation, me being a minority and the way it happened, my wife at the time was Puerto Rican, I'm Filipino Mexican type deal. He's like, yo, it's gonna take years before you see anything, and you're most likely gonna go in debt trying to fight. So the shit is real, man. But I do wanna shift it into what we can do in the community as far as music goes, and that's where my next question comes into play. you being a hip hop artist, I'd like to know what's your thoughts on what's the correlation between violence in hip hop music and the increasing violence in our community amongst us. Not even talking about police brutality, but like the violence amongst ourselves in the community. Like, do you see a correlation between what we're putting out in the music and what's happening in the community?
Well, I think a lot of the times that's just based on like it's tough to say, right? Because on one hand it's the entertainment business, right? And the other hand is, you know, you have a if you're elevated to a certain standpoint in life, with great power comes great responsibility. That is from Spider-Man, I think. But yeah, you it's tough because not everybody wants to be an activist, right? Not everybody
Absolutely.
wants to be. But I think it's really up to nowadays or the next couple of generations who, when you are choosing who to pop in your CD, because there are people like myself, there are people who are out here, the Lupe Fiascos,
Shout out to Lupe.
the Jay-Z's, the Most Defs, Tribe Called Quest. There are artists like that who are coming out now who are on positive vibes. You know what I'm saying? Motivational vibes. They're not just rapping about I'll shoot you in the face if you look at me wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I really think that it does play a big part in our culture as far as just we glorify that. Everybody wants to be the rough, tough guy. You know what I'm saying? Woo, woo. But I
Talk
think it's
about
just
that. Where do you think it came? Where do you think that came from? Because I look at it that hip hop was kind of birthed that way.
Oh, I mean, bro, when you grow, when you coming up, man. I mean, I think that's just I don't think that comes from anything. I think that's just the nature of the beast, right? Like
Human nature.
Yeah, I think that's the way we're wired. Women want the biggest, strongest guy that's in the room. Like you want the top dog. Women want that guy. Men want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? You want to be number one. No one comes out wanting to be able to be opposed in any way, shape, form, or fashion. If you can rule the world, I'm sure a lot of people would. You know what I mean?
That's so powerful. Like the way you put it, that I didn't even think about it. Like most women want that, so why not embody that, or why not dive head?
If that includes you being a dude who will kill somebody if for looking at them the wrong way, if that's what makes you feel like you got nuts, or if that's what people are glorifying because that, then people go for that. You know what I'm saying? The one thing I will say about violence though, or crime in our communities is like. I want to get out of that stigma of black on black crime, just based on the fact that it's just crime in general, right? Like black people, like for example, right? Like I've never been in a situation, or none of my friends have ever been in a situation where we shoot at somebody because they are black.
Okay.
Where we put someone in a situation, or we try to kill them because they are black.
Right.
Or we mistreat them because they are black. We mistreat them because we don't like them, or because there's something that they did, or something that's going on, right? Maybe they wearing the wrong. But I think the difference is, and what I really want to go with our society and with our culture in general is, black on black crime has nothing to do with the color of the skin. The problem with what's happening today in America is they're killing us because of the color of the skin.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the big disconnect. No black person has ever killed another black person in black on black crime because he was black.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Okay,
Like I think
that.
that's the main thing there. So I definitely want to just throw that out there. But as far as just what we can do, man, it's really just get out here, support different types of artists, make it cool to be different. Nothing's wrong with you doing what you do. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day in high school, nothing's wrong with me doing what I do. There's probably like you go to a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament, bro, and you got girls in the tournament playing. Attractive girls too. You like, oh, okay, all right, we might be able to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but it's just like, you just got to really put yourself in a situation to where you're comfortable in your own skin.
Yeah.
And not try to. And that's the mistake I made, trying to fit in and be with a crowd that I wasn't really meant to be a part of. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
And then that reflects in your music. That reflects in the music you listen to.
It's an insecurity.
Yeah, man. You don't have to be fit. Not everybody got to be 50 Cent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's powerful, man. So, if you out there, I hope that you can take this in. Like, you don't got to be something that you're not. And I just gotta say this part. In by no means, on any level, is violence okay. And especially what's been going on for me personally as an artist, I've been taking a step back to really look at the vibes that I'm putting out, the impact. Being 30, I got 2 daughters now. I got a 6-year-old, I got a 4-year-old, and I'm thinking of the next generation, and not to sound any type of way, but I'm literally thinking of the next generation, and my concern is young people, middle school, high schoolers, feeling like they got to to embody that tough guy role, to be a man or to be somebody. Like that's a deadly road. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I posted something on Instagram, and it was just saying that if we want to see a change or a decrease in violence in the community, like I feel like it starts in the core of our culture within the music itself. You know, because there is a glorification of violence. Like I'm so glad that you said it that way, because there's a difference now. Like when I listen to like a Kendrick track and he's reporting on his life.
Right.
He's telling a story of what happened to him, or what happened to his homeboys, versus you stepped on my shoe, I'm gonna shoot you with my 22. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a difference. Like if you live that, I get it. You know, you're reporting your story, but there are people who put that on a pedestal, like, and glorify that. And I feel like there's a context to everything. And in 2020, I just feel like the context, the narrative, just needs to change a little bit, you know, in a way that pushes us away from that violence. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I was in ministry school, we used to go to Ivy Lane's housing projects in Orlando, and we would do an after school program with the kids. We would teach them how to dance, read some scriptures, anything to just keep them off the streets. We're literally at the playground in Ivy Lane's housing project. There's bullet casings, and we're hearing the stories from the community. They're like, "Yo, shots went off and they hit the tree where my son is playing." You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's where I'm coming from. Like, as somebody who's been involved in police brutality, as someone who's had guns pulled out on him in the street, as someone who's seen this happen in our community, I'm like, yo, there has to be some type of change for the better. And I'm that type of person where, like, I'm just gonna try to do that however I can, whether it's through this podcast, through our music. My motto is to elevate the space, man, because Orlando is the city beautiful, and I've seen it changed. I remember growing up in my neighborhood, in East Orlando on Econ. They took off the basketball rims, the boards, because people were stashing drugs behind it. You know, so we couldn't play basketball no more. And we got to see the city change, and now the city's completely different. Like, I never thought I would see Black Lives Matter graffitied on Orange Avenue or on Rosalind. You know, and that's like, and it wasn't because of no reason. Like, it's because there's chaos. You know, we're using art to have a signal, like, man, we need to change. So we have a whole street crying out for change that says Black Lives Matter. Have you seen it in downtown?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's powerful, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I walk down in Lake Eola, when I see it, like, I'm getting chills right now thinking about, like, it's powerful, but it also breaks my heart to see, like, that's a product of what's happening in the city. Like, as much as I love seeing it there,
what's happening in the world, bro?
Yeah, it's
how
crazy
how many innocent
time.
Black people had to die for somebody to just sit back and say, okay, I think we got to stop killing Black people now. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think this should be a thing. Yeah, I feel you.
It's wild, bro. It's a crazy time. On top of that, we got pandemic.
Oh,
what's been?
I meant to ask y'all, man. Y'all all right in here, man? Y'all
Yeah,
got y'all
we good.
temperature check?
Yeah, I got my temperature check. But what's been keeping you going in pandemic? Have you been creating new music during this time?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I've been I got a new project I'm working on. Not sure on a title right this second, but I got 8 solid records done, man.
Can we expect it to drop before the end of 2020? Just to give little teasers for anybody out there watching.
Oh yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I think I want to drop it, man. If I had to give it a date, I want to do it on my birthday, November 18th.
Okay. We gotta make sure we do something for you on your birthday. Man. I know it's tricky with pandemic and everything, but
yeah, nah, man. Yeah, I'll do something for my birthday, man. Y'all boys come through, man. I have some liquor or something.
Absolutely.
Chill, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's my idea of a birthday. But yeah, I really solid music, a lot of growth. The thing about this last project that's out right now, these videos that are about to get put out right now, a lot of that music.
Hold on, music videos are hard right now.
Yeah,
y'all look up. How can they find you on YouTube?
You could actually
is it just J Wall or is it Jamal Wallace?
Jamal, bro, you can Google Jamal Wallace music, and everything I've ever done will pop up. You can go to jamalwallace.com. Everything I have will pop up. You can go to Um, yeah, you can
The
literally
music
type in
videos
Jamal. Yeah, YouTube.
are hard.
Oh man, thank you, bro. I appreciate
Y'all,
that.
that's my whole thing, man. Look up Jamal Wallace. Google it. Look up his music videos. Your music video game is on
Jamal
point.
Wallace music. Yeah, man. Everything will pop up, or just simply go to jamalwallace.com.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Absolutely. My man's sporting the Burberry jacket in one.
saying? That wasn't Burberry, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Before we wrap this up,
Burberry.
there, I know you're in the middle of your doing a personal body transformation.
Oh,
You just
yeah.
got on keto.
Yeah.
How you feeling? How deep are you into keto? How long has it been? How you feeling compared to where you were
I
at?
feel good. I feel amazing. I'm down. I was 249. I'm 226 right now.
Let's go. 226. Then, bro, that's
It's been about 3.5 weeks.
woof.
Yeah.
Well, are you on time restricted eating?
No. Well, see, the thing about it is, it's not quite what you may think it is. Keto is
Okay.
kind of a thing where, and we can get more into it, but
Yeah.
you're not starving yourself. You're eating when you want, essentially how much you want for the most part. You know, you're just changing what you eat. Keto is essentially your body changing what it uses as its fuel source.
Okay.
So it's more of a biological transformation than a diet. So my body in the state that it's in right now isn't working the same as most people's.
It's feeding off of fat stores.
It's feeding off
if I'm correct.
Yeah, exactly. It's feeding off of what's called your body turns stored fat into what's called ketones, and your body is burning ketones versus carbohydrates.
Do you take exogenous ketones as well?
No,
Okay.
I haven't gotten into that. My main thing is just trying to make sure I keep the ketone levels up in my body, make them naturally. I mean, and the eating's good, man. Like
Yeah.
I can eat a steak, get some, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A nice cut of steak, a nice fillet with some steamed broccoli, you know?
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
man.
man.
That's not bad at all.
If you're on keto, shout outs to my best friend in the Air Force, Xavier. He's in Jersey, but he worked at this organic marketplace in Orlando, and they sell exogenous ketones where it just basically helps you stay in ketosis.
Yeah, it gives you ketones for your body, yeah.
That's something. I actually have some left over. I'll probably just give that to you if you wanna.
Oh, yeah,
sample
hell yeah.
that right now. But
Hell yeah.
before we wrap it up, where else can people find you? What's the Instagram? What's the Facebook? Where can people
Instagram.
engage with you?
Instagram is I am Jamal Wallace. Yeah, man. Let me see. Instagram is definitely I am. Well, look, tell you right now, it's crazy. I done changed this. Yep, I am Jamal Wallace Music. Actually, I was completely.
I am Jamal.
Nah, that's just Jamal Wallace Music.
It's just Jamal Wallace Music.
JamalWallacemusic. Jamal Wallace
Awesome.
Music is the IG, and Twitter. I need to get on here a lot more than I do, but the Twitter is gonna be I am Jay Wallace.
Where do you like to engage with your fans or people who want to
IG.
know more about you?
Yeah,
Okay,
IG.
Instagram.
Everything that I do for the most part is gonna be on IG. I mean, it's just constantly trying to grow it, get more content ready for you guys, especially when this whole body transformation is done. Get these videos out here, see how the market works. I'm gonna be recording nonstop, man. I got a lot of big things planned. So
I'm excited. For anybody who's listening, when did Just a Kid from Babylon drop? Was that 2019 or 2018?
That was 2018.
On the tail end of 18.
Yeah, tail end of 18.
The reason why I asked is
beginning of
because
19, something like that.
that is the most solid piece of work, complete body of work that came out of Orlando in all of 2018. I remember
man, I appreciate
from
that.
all the artists, and respect to all the artists that I personally know out there who's putting out work. But for that year when that project came out, it was in my opinion the best album that Orlando had heard. So for anybody who wants to hear the music, go on Spotify, go to his website, Just a Kid from Babylon, streaming on all platforms while we're waiting for the new shit to come.
Yeah,
I appreciate you, man, and
Crazy.
telling us a
Shit
little
is
bit
crazy.
about what's going on. We hope to have you on when you drop your new shit.
Yeah.
Maybe do a little debut.
Yeah.
Give the city a little taste of some shit to come, huh?
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
And listen, fuck with Jamal, fuck with J-Wall in the movement. You're gonna see his name a lot. Not only is he talented and gifted, but he grinds, and you could feel his music, and you could also see him live it. So that's why I fuck with you. So, and if you're listening to this out there, remember to just elevate the space. You know, anybody in Central Florida, if you're an artist, whether you do graffiti, whether you do hip hop, EDM, I just encourage you, elevate the space. Let's let's push the culture upwards. And I just want to encourage everybody, be safe, be blessed. Most importantly, be you. Thanks.